Is it a struggle? Yes, we have to realize our strengths and our weaknesses. Hi, and welcome to Why Not with Janice, and I'm your host, Janice, helping others to reach their goals. Today is a special show. Today I want to talk about why I started the show and tell you a little bit about me, especially for viewers who have been watching for a while. I just want to give you a little personal insight of who I am and why the show came about, okay? Why not is one of my favorite sayings. I've been saying this for at least 10 years minimum, probably longer than that. It's even my license plate, why not? I even named my little chihuahua, Why Not, okay? So it's been around. And you see our logo, why not, okay? It's one of my mottos because I've always believed that why not try to do things? Why not explore your horizon? Why not do the things you want to do? Accomplish the goals you want to do. And that's why our saying is helping others to reach their goals. There's a lot of people and there's an old saying about people will die with that song inside of them. My goal is to help people not let that die in them. Their goals just die in them. I want them to be able to see other people that are doing something that they want to do, reaching their goals, and inspire you to reach for those goals also. So we've had a variety of people on the show. We've had, going back to the beginning shows, we had a lady named Diane Blush. She works with Children's Home and Aid Society. I had her on the show so she could talk about fostering adoption. There's a lot of people out there that either don't have children, would like to have children, want to adopt, just want to foster and help out people, but don't know how to go about it. So I asked her to come on the show to talk about that. I had a woman on the show, Gwen Johnson. She was Gwen White at the time. She got married since the show started. However, her show was on Deborah's Place. It's a place in Chicago that helps homeless women to get back on their feet. We've had inspiring shows also on actors. I had an actor come on the show, Dave Perez. He was giving people tips on being an actor. So part of the show is helping others to reach their goals, that I show people that are reaching their goals, to give people inspiration to go for and strive for these things. Strive for what you want. Having something inside of you that hasn't came out because of fear, anxiety, thinking that you don't have what it takes to, say, be an actor. You don't have what it takes to be a parent or get financially sound. We did like a couple episodes on getting yourself financially sound. And during a time of COVID, what we're going through now, there's a lot of people, 70% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. So people have goals and should have goals to be and live beyond that they can have savings, that they don't have to worry, or get that better job, go back to school. I even had a person on our show before, Teresa Knight. She is a director of Excel Center in Indiana, which is with Goodwill. They actually have a return to school for adults, a program that can help adults get their high school diploma, possibly get a certificate that will give them a trade that they can actually improve their lives financially by getting a better job. So these are some of the shows we've had on for quite some time in the last 18 months. I've also had people on the show such as the teens. I think is a good thing of giving teens a voice that people can hear what they're saying and what they think. Now, why the Why Not came about and actually doing the show, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Like I said, I'm Janice Newman. I'm happily married, unfortunately for the third time. That's even part of was my anxiety about starting a show or getting into doing things in public that people look at me that, oh, how can you tell me to get my life together if you've been married 3 times? And yes, I have been. People make mistakes. God forgives your mistakes. God's forgiven me. And I've learned to accept my mistakes and learn from them and move on. One of my better goals was to definitely have a marriage that I am proud of and will be a great example for people. And that's what I have now. But why not? The show came about. A little more about myself. About 3.5 years ago, I was going through my divorce, my second divorce, and I was getting headaches. And I literally thought my headaches had to have been from the divorce and the stress. So I'm sitting in the doctor's office. My mom came with me, and doctor, he's looking over the results, did an MRI, and he looked at me, he smiled, he was a nice doctor and everything. First time I met him, like, great. And he's like, what you doing on Monday? And I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing on Monday? What you doing on Monday? I mean, what do you want to know what I'm doing on Monday? What you doing on Monday? And he's like, I want to let you know, you have a tumor and we need to get it out ASAP. So what are you doing on Monday? And I just sat back. I was flustered. I'm thinking to myself, here's all these goals I had planned out. And here's this man telling me I have a tumor and I'm needing to go in for brain surgery next week, as early as next week. How many things inside me, how many goals did I have inside me that I wanted to let out and to do and accomplish? I have been writing a book. I wanted to do the TV show. I wanted a youth group, summer youth group, to help out kids and give back. I wanted to do more life coaching. So why was all this stuff still inside me? And now I'm looking at what could happen on Monday? What can happen on the surgery? Is my life still going to be the same? And I said to myself at that point that I'm going to go through this surgery and things are going to change. That's what I hoped. And I wind up having a few weeks before surgery. And I will tell you, in those few weeks, I wasn't thinking anything about my goals. Because most people think they have a lifetime. Most people do have a lifetime to achieve those goals. But I tell you one thing, waiting for the proper moment, the best timing, for everything to line up. Like they always say, for all your ducks to get in a row. I don't understand what they meant by ducks getting in a row. But for everything to line up perfectly, things don't line up perfectly. There's never a perfect time. There's never a perfect time, in my opinion. They would say, oh, I'm going to wait to have children until I get that promotion, until I'm the CEO, the VP, I'm climbing up the ladder, I'm the marketing director. And then now you look at your life, you're 40. Women, 40, it makes it harder to have children. Guys, you're 50, 60, and now you're thinking about children because you finally made it to that position in work, and it's going to be hard to throw in a ball or catching a little 2-year-old. It's hard to catch a 2-year-old when you're 25, let alone when you're 40 or 50 or 60. There's never a perfect time. There's never a perfect time to go back to school. We got work, we got kids, we got house chores. There's never a perfect time to study, but the perfect time is starting now. And that's where drive and determination and willpower comes in. Motivation gets you started. It's like turning the key to the car. Motivation gets you started, but determination makes sure you keep your foot down on the pedal and you keep going to the end. And then when you get to the end, you find another viewpoint to look at, another goal, another focus, and you drive to that. Okay? So a little bit more. Went in and had surgery about 3 weeks later. And everything seemed fine. I was cool, calm, and collect, okay? I think my blood pressure was probably the lowest it ever been right before going into surgery. Came out after surgery, everything was fine. Talking to family, friends, it's like, hey, and it's kind of funny. I have to throw this in, people always say, I need something else, like I need a hole in my head. Well, I can honestly say I got a hole in my head. But anywho, I really didn't even read the fine print, and I love that. I didn't even read the fine print. I had no idea that I was going to have screws in my head. Don't ask me why. I don't know how the skull was going to be put back on, but I didn't know I didn't know I was going to have screws in my head. So I'm sitting there, I'm laughing, fun with family. The next day, though, I woke up and I wasn't communicating. I wasn't communicating. I couldn't speak. I couldn't write. So when I was saying I couldn't communicate, I couldn't even write out help, food, milk, bathroom, nothing. I couldn't communicate. I couldn't talk. Only thing I was saying was not making sense. So if Webster's Dictionary wants new words, I got new words from them. Moken was all I could say. I have no clue what moken means. My family interpret that as milk. Moken and milk, maybe sounds a little bit the same. Since I have milk allergies, I don't know why they kept giving me milk and I just kept drinking it. But I couldn't communicate. I couldn't communicate and I didn't cry. I didn't cry. I sat there and I said to myself, God wants to talk to me. God wants to talk to me. And he needs me to listen. Those who have ears, let them hear. Those who have ears, let them hear. He wanted me to be quiet. But one of the first times, I actually had to be quiet. Not that I'm a loudmouth, although some people on the show may think I'm a loudmouth. And I know the guys are always helping me with the audios, always having to adjust the audios because I'm loud. I'm naturally loud. But I had to just sit there and be quiet. I couldn't say anything to anyone. I couldn't say anything. Everything was moken, I have, moken, I have. I couldn't communicate. And what I mean, besides I couldn't communicate, I couldn't write out my name. I couldn't point at a picture properly and say what was going on at the picture. And I will tell you this, whenever you have brain surgery and someone, and I thought I was talking, I thought whatever was coming out of my mouth was sounding appropriately, okay? But when they bring you a set of pictures and they want you to look at them, you know something's wrong. You know something's wrong. You know, when they brought me the picture, I think to myself, this is not good, not good, not good. I couldn't even point at the pictures right to tell them what I needed because something just was blocking me from any communication. And I really wholeheartedly believe that was because God wanted his attention, my attention focused solely on him, solely on God, no one else. Okay? So I sat there for 3.5 days and praise God, my communication came back in 3.5 days. But I sat there quietly, family was around me visiting, and just listened. Like I said, those who have ears, let them hear. And I just listened. And God told me in that time, and made me realize in this time, that life is precious. My voice is precious. Me being able to talk to people, to communicate to people, to get his word out, to help others to reach their goals, to not hold back from my fears and anxiety, but just leap forward because there's never a good time for anything. It really isn't. It taught me in those 3 days, God taught me in those 3 days to go for it. Go for my dreams. Go for the goals. Okay? Don't hold back. And if there's people in your life that naysayers, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Those who have ears, let them hear, but don't hear the naysayers. Those who have ears, let them hear yourself. Let them hear God. Let them hear what you are hearing about you. There are always going to be people in this world that are going to put you down. I can tell you right now. There'll probably be people that can write me an email or on Facebook or YouTube, oh, I don't like your show, blah, 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 blah. There's people that attack people every single day. I'm sure there's probably people that attack Mother Teresa, okay? And she was one of my idols. I love that woman. I admired her. There's people that are going to attack everyone and everything you do. There'll be people that will attack you in your own household. But as long as you know what you want to do, and that is along with what God-given desires are wanting you to do, planning for you to do, go for it. Go for your dreams. And I hope this show will have episodes on here that will inspire you to reach your goals, that will show you other people that have accomplished things that you have or similar to what you have, that you're able to go out and, hey, that person tried it. Why not me? Why? Why not? Why not you? Okay? Why not go for the show? Why not go for being an actor? Why not go for, hey, even being the president of the United States, okay? Why not go for that, okay? Run for office. Do what you have your goals for. You want to write a book? I recommend everyone write a book. I wrote a book earlier last year. Why not? Just moving from ordinary to extraordinary. Just life coaching, life challenging workbook. I did that because I wanted to inspire people the same way I was inspired. But even that's not over with. Writing just one book isn't enough. Doing the show is not enough. It's reaching out to people. And that's what everyone should be doing, reaching out to connect with others. Part of the thing we do on the show is what I call re-time. Re-time is, God gave me this during COVID time, thinking about the word re. It's actually not a word, it's a prefix. Just being able to reevaluate myself, reach out to people, establish relationships, okay? These are all these things that I know that has to do. This is a time that people have been inside, sheltered in place, or we're just reaching out to people, meaning that we're inside because of the COVID-19, or we don't do the things we used to do. We don't just go to the stores or the movies anymore. I think this is a time that God's giving us to rethink our lives, to reconnect, to rejoice we're alive and our friends, and we have an opportunity to do something different with our lives, to rethink, reteach, reinvent. Even with reaching your goals and reach, there's the R-E is reach. Reaching your goals, reinvent something, reinvent yourself. Those ideas that we have in our head on how to do something differently, do a different app on the computer, make something easier for people at work, teaching your child, reinvent something, reset, pull back and do a reset on your life. Reset on your thinking, refocus your energies on something. You know, it's not just time to go watch TV, and please watch my show, but it's not a time to just watch TV and do nothing about it. Re-educate yourself. If you're going to watch TV, watch not only the news, but find something on like the Discovery Channel, a news channel, a business channel, something that's going to teach you something new. So after all this time and COVID, I pray that will be long gone in the past, hopefully soon, we don't know, that when you come out better on the other side. We came into COVID one way, we're going to come out better on the other side. Renew, reinvented, refocus, okay? Re-educate ourselves. These are all words. Realign ourselves to our thoughts, our beliefs, our characters, our values. You know, a lot of times we get away from what we originally believed. Most times we do. You know, we start off young, inspired to change the world, reinvent, you know, rebuild things. And then we get older and those things start dying off. And I understand that. That's what life and kids and work happen. But think about resparking those things, you know, redefining yourself, realigning yourself to those goals and values that were important to you. Okay, if part of your life goals was to have a close family, even though we're in COVID-19, there's Zoom. You can still be connected with them. You can play games on Zoom. You can visit people. You can reconnect with people on Facebook that you haven't spoke to in ages. One thing I did after my surgery and came out, I started thinking about these things actually, and I wanted to reconnect with people. And I thought to myself, when you're on Facebook, you say things like you type in happy birthday thing. How many of us have actually sent a birthday card to one of those people? that's not a close family member that's expecting a birthday card. How many people have someone passed away, even shown up at a funeral or wake? Now, this may not be the time to go now because of COVID, but you can always send flowers. And if you do wind up going to the wake, just wear a mask, protect yourself, okay? I decided, I saw a friend of mine, her mom passed away, and I'm like, you know what? I've known her through high school. I ran into her in a store a few times. Why am I saying I'm sorry for condolences, my condolences? Why don't I show her I'm really sorry and I'm going to be there to support her? So I actually went to her mother's wake, at least to show support and love. And that's the part of reestablishing and reconnecting relationships. God wants us to have a relationship with him, but he also wants us to have a relationship with others, okay? So that part of calling up that person you haven't spoken to in a long time, maybe you need to reconnect with a child that has gone astray. Call, pick up the phone, send a card, okay? There's things we can do. This is also a time for resting. That's part of RE2, RESTING, resting, okay? Some of us have actually been workaholics, that A-type personality, that work. Now's the time to rest, pull back, rethink the relationship with family, rethink the relationship with work. Do you want your life to be nothing but work? It's time to not only establish those relationships again, but get new relationships, okay? New relationships you can form with thinking out the box, being creative. What I did last year and the year before that, I was very blessed. Cornerstone Christian Center in South Chicago Heights was nice enough to help me out by donating a room for me to use that I could start a youth group. So they helped bring kids from the church in the group. We reached out to the neighborhood and we actually did a youth program. It was a great program that everyone in the community could go to for teenagers 12 to 17. It was a wonderful experience, and I'm very blessed that I was able to have that opportunity to do that. Back then, I was thinking, hey, how can I rethink a way of helping others? How can I reach out? How can I renew? How can I re-educate myself on different ways to help others to explore themselves? It was also a revitalization for me that I was able to give off 6 weeks of my life to donate to these children. It was a wonderful program. We did it twice, 2018 and 2019. Unfortunately, with COVID, I didn't do it this year. Maybe next year we can do it again and establish and expand on it. But I want people to start thinking of these 3 words, okay? And that's why I wanted to have a day that I can just talk to my audience, talk to people. What I did also, you can watch us on YouTube and Facebook. I'm going to be doing a whole series of shows that are going to get people thinking about these things to reinvent themselves, reestablish, refocus, renew their lives, re-educate. I want people to also to think about their finances. So that's part of rethinking. When people not being able to live beyond paycheck to paycheck, we need to reinvent and rethink even our finances. So the One Way Night Show is going to be doing a lot of episodes on re-educating, reinventing. You'll find it also on our website, information. If you want additional information, please feel free to like our Facebook page, YouTube page, watch us on the channel, support your local channels by watching. We do appreciate that. So I hope you learned a lot more about myself. Why Not has just been an inspirational and enjoyable fun time to do. We're all volunteers here that help out on the show. I like getting exciting people on the show to just show what they did. We've had Scarce, which is an organization in Addison. They have a lot of donations that are good to help with teachers, to help with their classroom, that they don't have to go out and pay for all these things. So they have a wide variety of books, textbooks, learning supplies that are free for teachers. We've had that on the show. We've had on the show Mike Migrug. He's actually my director on my show, technical director. He has his own show, the Mike and Larry Show. Please watch him on television also, and he's at the Facebook page too. He actually got on to talk about camera equipment, making your own films. I love that whole idea, because now that people are doing things differently, we're inside more or at home more, we have our cameras, we have our cell phone. Do a quirky video, do something different. So he has a great show that we did on all these different equipment you could use to make your own video. And that's great for kids too, to connect. Reconnect with your kids by doing a video, posting a funny for somebody. They have the TikTok out there. I've never did one of those, but those are out there too. We also want you to start redefining your life, okay? That's a big one that I have when it comes to goal setting. And like the show's topic is reaching your goals, helping others to reach their goals. Redefine who you are. Sometimes we have to look at that. I just turned 50 this year, so I had to also start thinking how to redefine myself. Am I the same person from 20 years ago? No. 10 years ago? No. 30 years ago? Definitely not, and especially with the weight, I'm definitely not. But redefine who I am, what my values are, what my goals are, where my direction is. And these are all things that connect with retime, redefine, reconnect, rethink, refocus, okay? Rebuild yourself, redesign yourself. Sometimes over 40 and 50, we have to redesign yourself, rebrand yourself, okay? When we go as a 50-year-old or a 40-year-old into a company and we're competing against for a job with 20-year-olds and 25-year-olds and 30-year-olds, we have to come out there with our game. It's not just experience. Experience helps, but people want to see that we can connect with what's going out there today with the young people and everyone in every generation. So we have to redesign, rebrand ourselves. Start figuring out what your goals are. As part of this show is, like I said, reaching out to helping others to reach their goals. Figure out what your goals are. Simply write down, and this is a little thing that people should do, write down all your achievements you did, even if they're small. Finish high school, finish college, had 3 kids, married 20 years. Write those things down. Then another column, I want you to write how you felt about those accomplishments, okay? Third, I want you to start writing down, and you could think big, you can think elaborate. For now, just think of all the goals you want to obtain. I want to write a book. I want to be an actor. I want to get a promotion at work, that I'm the manager. I want to start my own business. And that's a big thing too, starting your own business, getting that extra stream of income, multiple streams of income. Write those all down. And then I want you to write down next to it, how do you think you'll feel accomplishing those things? What I want you to do is connect with your feelings. And feelings are the things that motivate people. They're the ones who's going to motivate you. Those feelings will motivate you to get that key started in the car. You keep looking at the goals and how you feel, and that's going to get that foot down to the pedal to determine that determination to get you to the finish line. And that's what we're looking at, okay? So I hope I helped you out a few things today, telling you why we did the show, a little bit about me, so we're on a little personal basis now, and also setting out some lines of what goals you should be setting out. It's time to set some goals. It's retime. Retime to redefine, refocus, renew yourself, okay? Please follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. Watch our show. We're on weekly. We're on right now 5 days a week, okay? So wherever you're at, you should be able to find us. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, I'm Janice with Why and Why Not. I'm your host. Have a wonderful evening and day. Good night.